Hello and welcome. I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for joining us. Our top story today at noon, Sarasota County issuing a recreation burn ban due to the dry conditions across the Suncoast and an increased threat of wildfires. Now, the countywide recreational burn ban is effective immediately, and it will last until the dry conditions improve. Sarasota County Fire Chief Michael Regner says they've seen a recent uptick in the number of calls for wildfires. The ban means all recreational fires, including campfires, are restricted. You are allowed to continue with cooking fires using a grill, propane, and coals, but the chief asked that you make sure the coals are cool before you dispose of them.
Anytime we go into a recreational burn ban, we're looking at the conditions. So if somebody does not adhere to our rules, that could start a fire, and it could grow into something that could burn homes, get people injured. So we just, like I said, want to make sure that people are vigilant and they adhere to what we're trying to accomplish here.
Northport also passing an emergency ordinance banning all outdoor burning with the exception of outdoor barbecues, and this is in Charlotte County as well. We'll have more coming up on our 5 p.m. newscast. There are 31 active wildfires right now in the state that have burned more than 34,000 acres, with many of them here on the Suncoast. The Florida Forest Service reports our state has a year-long fire season. Dry weather conditions, lightning season, and the continued growth of plants and trees are all things that contribute to wildfires all year long. If you live in or near a wooded area, make sure your plants are only waist high.
And if you have a situation like this where a palm tree or any type of tree is leaning up against a power pole, especially up over by that transformer, you want to get with the power company and ask them if they can come and trim that down, because that is a hazard. Because if that sparks, that transformer is going to go out and throw sparks down to the ground and fire and create a wildfire right there.
Forest Service also says to use rocks and not mulch or pine needles to create barriers between fires and your home, and to make sure you keep your roof and gutters clean of any debris. Those dried up leaves that might be in your gutter are also fuel for a wildfire. If an ember were to land on your roof, that could cause a fire.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely. Nice space between you and that wilderness interface there.
Yeah.
Nice space. We have across our region some dry conditions continuing on again today, even though it's kind of humid out there, and I don't think we'll meet the criteria for red flag warnings today, or really even for the next few days, despite the fact that we have some drier air moving in. The fire danger remains high. Van Ways, a webcam put into motion, shows a few fair weather clouds, a lot of blue sky as well, and then a few more clouds beginning to build. I think the second half of the afternoon will feature increasing cloudiness because of a frontal boundary sinking south. But we're not going to get much rain from it, unfortunately, and sure could use some. The fire danger index across our region has risen, and it is higher today than it was yesterday. Now, most of the Suncoast is in the high zone, and there are a few counties across the state of Florida that are in the very high zone, meaning that if a wildfire were to start, it would rapidly spread because of the available fuel and the amount of energy that could be released by a fire. We have cloud cover to the north of us. That's our frontal boundary. It's sinking southward. As it does that, I think we'll see a few more clouds during the second half of the day, as I said. That'll probably limit our daytime temperature to around the low 80s. We have lots of showery activity to the north of us, too. But the thing is, as that showery activity sinks south into our area, it's going to kind of fall apart. So our rain chance today is somewhat minimal. We'll go with 77 in Sarasota right now, 79 degrees in Manatee County, 77 down in Inglewood, 78 in Venice. We'll have the complete forecast for you coming up in just a few, Scott.
All right, John, thank you. New developments out of Manatee County today where an arrest has been made in a recent murder. Sheriff's detectives charging 23-year-old Dakota Gibson with murder. Early Monday morning, deputies responded to a report of a body on fire in a wooded area in Bradenton. Investigators later determined the victim was 50-year-old Veronica Polite. They say Gibson and Polite met earlier that evening at the City Walk Apartments in Bradenton and left the complex with two others. Detectives say Gibson eventually dropped off the other two and left with the victim. An autopsy revealed she suffered severe trauma to the head and burns to the upper body. Detectives say they found a large amount of blood in the back seat of Gibson's car. An update now on a story out of Sarasota County where a jury has been seated in the John Allen Lee murder trial. Lee is charged with the 2011 murders of his ex-girlfriend, Tracy Nabergall, and neighbor, Jason Salter. His first trial ended in a mistrial, and although he was found guilty of murder in the second trial, a judge later threw that conviction out. The jury heard opening statements yesterday as Lee's third trial gets underway. If convicted, he faces the death penalty or life in prison without parole. New details now about that shooting yesterday at YouTube's headquarters. Police identifying the suspect as Nassim Aghdam, a 38-year-old San Diego woman who police say opened fire, shooting and injuring 3 people before taking her own life. ABC's Natalie Brunell is in Los Angeles with more.
My name is Nassim Sabs.
The YouTube shooter's identity revealed. 38-year-old Nassim Aghdam, a prolific YouTube user with tens of thousands of subscribers, millions of page views, and a manifesto targeting the company's new advertising policy. She quotes Hitler and accuses YouTube of slashing the monetary value of her videos.
I'm being discriminated and filtered on YouTube, and I'm not the only one.
Her brother in San Diego, asking that his face not be shown, says the family was aware of her hatred of YouTube, calling police when she went missing from her grandmother's house in San Diego, later turning up in Northern California, sleeping in her car just hours before the shooting.
I didn't know she has a gun, and then I thought maybe she's going to go and start the fight or something.
Active shooter at 901 Cherry.
At 12:46 p.m. local time, police say Aghdam opened fire, unleashing chaos at YouTube's headquarters.
This is crazy. We're on lockdown.
Armed officers bursting on the scene in minutes, employees filing out, hands in the air. Good Samaritans scrambling to help 3 victims who had been shot.
I put like a tourniquet on her.
Police finding Aghdam dead on the scene from an apparent self-inflicted gunshot wound. Police are still investigating Aghdam's motive, but say there's no evidence she targeted any of the 3 people she shot. Those victims, 2 women and a man, remain hospitalized, the male in critical condition. Natalie Brunell, ABC News, Los Angeles.
Happening today, thousands of people are expected to gather at the National Civil Rights Museum to remember the life and work of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Today marks 50 years since King was assassinated at the Lorraine Motel in Memphis, Tennessee. He had delivered his famous "I've Been to the Mountaintop" speech at a Memphis church the day before. He was shot and killed by James Earl Ray, who was later sentenced to 99 years in prison. The museum is set to unveil a new exhibit to mark the occasion, MLK 50, A Legacy Remembered. We'll have much more on the 50th anniversary throughout the hour here on ABC 7. Happening in Florida, a retired firefighter from the Orlando area is going all out in support of his fellow first responders across the state. Tom Hill is making the trek from Key West all the way to Tallahassee on foot. Each day he'll walk about 15 miles. He's on a mission to bring awareness to state lawmakers about the cancer threats that firefighters face every day on the job.
My goal is to fulfill a promise to a couple firemen that I made, that I would do everything I could to help make this change in this presumption law that Florida seems to think that firemen don't need it.
Hill wants state lawmakers to pass the cancer presumption law, which claims certain cancers are job-related, opening the option of eligibility for benefits. The law is already in place in more than 30 states. Hill is expected to arrive in Tallahassee sometime later this week. Still to come in your Suncoast News, the FDA issuing its first ever mandatory recall of a popular supplement. I'll tell you which one it is. And we'll talk one-on-one with the president of the Tampa Bay Rays to find out how Suncoast fans can help the team stay in the Tampa Bay area.
Invest in Kids is a $7.5 million project to build a new Boys and Girls Club in South Manatee County. I'm Caleb Grimes, and I was a club kid. It's where I learned important life lessons: leadership, integrity, responsibility, and baseball. Thousands of kids attend the Boys and Girls Clubs, and after years of use, their club is slowly falling apart. Help us invest in kids. Make your donation today.
Thank you.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 78.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Patriotism. It inspires passionate debate. It's worn like a badge of honor with good reason, because it means love and devotion for one's country. But what really makes up this country of ours? It's the people. To love America is to love all Americans. This year, patriotism shouldn't just be about pride of country. It should be about love. Love beyond age, sexuality, disability, race, religion, and other labels. Because love has no labels.
Maybe you can make retirement happen. After all, you made her college years happen. Opening that education savings account when she was little. Spearheading a campus tour. And another, and another, and another, and another. Bam! Deciphering financial aid. She was like, what? Well, now she's like, you aced planning for college. Now get the tips you need to get on track at aceyourretirement.org.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
77-degree air temperature, plenty of sunshine out there. Dew point value high, coming in at 69, almost a 70-degree dew point. Once you hit that 70 mark, I think everybody agrees it's kind of humid out there. In fact, I will agree it's kind of humid out there even if we haven't hit the 70-degree dew point. It's a kind of steamy afternoon with that southwest wind coming in at about 8 right now. That'll continue to pump the moisture across the region and bring us that high humidity, sultry kind of feel to the air as it climbs into the 80s today. 77 in Sarasota, 78 in Venice, 79 in Bradenton, 74 Lakewood Ranch, Longboat Key. Lakewood Ranch is coming in at 79, 77 in Inglewood, 82 in Northport. I think we'll probably hit the low to mid 80s in inland areas along the coastline. Breezes will keep things a little cooler, the onshore breeze, so you'll probably be at temperatures that are in the upper 70s, low 80s, that kind of thing. I think Sarasota at the airport will probably just hit the 80 mark maybe. 3 p.m. temperature comes in at about 80 degrees. We'll have sunshine, but increasing cloud cover in the second half of the day. I am going to be generous with our rain chance today at 20%. I'd be surprised if we even get that much rain around. I think that the amount of rain showers that we get will be very isolated. They'll be more in the form of maybe some drizzle or some very light passing showers, probably after 7 p.m., sometime between 7 and 10, let's say. And then by midnight, that front will be through here and we'll start to clear out. And the overnight should turn fairly starry by the time we wake up tomorrow morning. Southwest wind continues today, bringing us, I said, our temperatures to near the 80-degree mark near the coast, a little bit warmer in inland areas. By 7 p.m. this evening, we're dropping down into the mid-70s, holding to near the 80-degree mark in inland locations. Cloud cover will be on the increase, and then as we head into the later half of the evening, we may see an isolated shower or two pop up under some of these clouds, but it's not going to be a really wet passing of a cold front like we sometimes get. There's our frontal boundary. It is producing a lot of rain in places. We've had some severe weather with this. These little dots that you see here, these are severe storm reports, including tornadoes, gusty winds, damaging winds. But notice as the frontal boundary pulls away, those reports of severe weather also are left behind by that front sinking south. That's because as the front sinks south, all the energy is way to the north, and what we see to the north of us does not contain severe weather. In fact, we're hardly going to get a rain shower, as I mentioned, around our area. They're getting some pretty good rains in the Panhandle, though. Wish that would sink a little bit further south. We sure could use it, but just not going to happen, not this time around. We'll have a series of these fronts kind of moving through here over the next 7 days, so we will get more chances for rainfall, but none of those fronts appear to have the potential of producing very heavy rainfall, which we could use a little bit of. 10-knot wind becoming a little bit stronger during the overnight at about 15 should bring us a light chop on our bay and inland waters for the remainder of the afternoon. Nice day out there on the waters today. 20% chance of a late evening shower followed by clearing. Drier air moving in tomorrow. Plenty of sunshine around. Same thing on Friday, but temperatures certainly not cooling down despite the fact that we have this weak front moving through. As we head into the weekend, the first of a series of little frontal boundaries will be moving through the region on Saturday and then again on Sunday night into Monday. So we'll have unsettled weather to end up our week. And then as we start off the next work week, we'll also have a chance of some rain showers on Monday. Scott?
Okay, John, thank you. In Health Smart, a study reveals a new reason not to eat out. Reed Binion has a closer look at the impact fast food can have on your hormones.
It's convenient, but eating out may be taking a toll on your hormones. That's according to a study published in the journal Environment International. Researchers say dining out increases your exposure to potentially harmful chemicals. Those chemicals are called phthalates, and researchers say they can make your hormones go haywire. The study found that people who ate at restaurants and fast food outlets had 35% higher levels of phthalates than those who didn't. For years, eating foods with high levels of those chemicals have been linked to birth defects, and now scientists suspect the chemicals can disrupt hormones and cause fertility problems. Researchers say food is likely contaminated with those chemicals because it comes in contact with gloves and plastic packaging. Those same synthetic chemicals are also found in perfumes, hairsprays, and shampoos. The good news is that those chemicals only stay in the body for about a day. For today's Health Minute, I'm Reed Binion.
The FDA is recalling a product used for pain relief and opioid withdrawal. The administration says several Kratom products made by Triangle Pharma Naturals LLC tested positive for salmonella. The FDA says it issued the recall after the company failed to comply with its request for a voluntary recall. The leaves are traditionally crushed and made into tea to treat pain or reduce opioid withdrawal cravings. In the U.S., Kratom is sold as a dietary supplement in the form of pills, powders, capsules, and tea. All right, let's head over to the kitchen and say hello today to ABC 7 Culinary Director Judy Gallagher and see what she's fixing us for lunch today. Hi, Judy.
Hi, Scott. I hope you like just a little bit of heat. We'll temper it just so it's not too spicy, but you know, Cinco de Mayo is but a month away, so it's time to start playing with your recipes. While I love fajitas, probably the most fattening part of it is the flour tortilla. So I'm going to show you basically how to do a lower carb version, and we're going to use a ribeye steak. Beautifully hand-cut steaks, picked them up over at Whole Foods, and what I'm really excited about is we have our own salt guy, in case you didn't know that, down at the farmer's market. And I picked up the Drum Circle, Siesta Key Drum Circle fajita seasoning last week at the farmer's market. So he has all sorts of different salts, but I love the Drum Circle one. It's going to marry the dish really well. We're going to toast up some of the chilies, and to add that added flavor, saute mushrooms and some bright peppers. And then I have some great foodie finds to share with you. Refried beans, already cooked, ready to go. You could eat them right out of the container. Black beans that come in a pouch now, so you can just open it up. A wide variety of convenience items that are still fresh and healthy and delicious. So stay with me, because this hour is all about an early Cinco de Mayo. We're grilling up some ribeye steaks with lots of flavor. I'll show you the marinade in just a few minutes.
Today, everyone is looking for more fashionable choices in flooring than ever before. And G. Fried has responded with a huge selection of carpets, tile, wood, laminate, and vinyl. Installed by a highly skilled team, G. Fried has got everything you're looking for and more. The next time you think about quality flooring, think G. Fried Flooring America. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
I love taking care of my mom. It wasn't easy at first. She learned how to better communicate her needs.
And you learned how to not ignore yours.
I discovered how to make healthier meals.
And I discovered how much I enjoyed them.
Becoming a caregiver is a learning experience for everyone. Find articles, tips, and tools from experts and others who have been in your place. The Caregiving Resource Center at aarp.org/caregiving.
My name is Haley. I have Fragile X syndrome. I work with Chartwells at Einstein's and FAU. I like being up front and interacting with students. The students are very nice and very hungry. Having a job is a big ticket for independence.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
A promise was made, a promise that hit the beaches of Normandy, a vow that captured Iwo Jima, a contract that weathered Tet. a pledge that stormed the desert in Iraq, an IOU that braved IEDs in Kandahar. A promise was made to America's veterans. DAV fights to keep that promise, so all veterans and their families get the benefits and support they earned. For help, visit DAV.org.
Stay connected to your clients and new customers using ABC7 Digital Media Services. Our team of professionals provide a wide array of digital services to help you get the most out of your website. We specialize in building and helping you maintain the most effective digital solutions for your business. It's vital that your online presence stands out, so our experts will equip you with the best resources available. Trust ABC7 Digital Media Services to give you the right tools to grow your business. Get breaking news, plus first alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. Watch Good Morning Suncoast on ABC7, weekdays starting at 5.
Just a week after opening day, they're already facing a losing record and low attendance. So how much longer can this trend continue? ABC 7's Ray Collins traveled to Tropicana Field to find out.
Another season is underway at Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg. The fans are filing in, and they're hoping for another banner to hang in the left field rafters.
This stadium was built back in 1986. They thought, build it and they will come. Well, it took 12 more years for the Devil Rays to be born, the expansion franchise. And now here in 2018, attendance is a serious issue.
From what I hear is the stadium.
Dennis Springer was a pitcher for the inaugural Tampa Bay Devil Rays 20 years ago. And on this night, he's among the former players being honored, including Tampa native and Hall of Famer third baseman Wade Boggs.
Gotta focus, gotta focus.
But outside of a few playoff runs, including an American League championship 10 years ago, there hasn't been a lot to cheer about here. And now there's talk of the team moving closer to downtown Tampa.
Looking into Ybor City and new stadium.
But none of this would be rumored if more of these seats were filled. The team has gone from an average of about 30,000 fans per game in 1998 to about 15,000 fans per game the past 3 seasons. The team president wishes more fans from the Suncoast would take advantage of the stadium's relative close proximity.
Many parts of it are closer than Tampa, and so when we look at our fan base, we look at the entire Tampa Bay region, including Sarasota, Manatee, and we think that if we can draw crowds from all around, we're going to be more successful.
And to be more successful, the team is changing some things. From an outdoor recreation deck for fans before, during, and after the game to an enhanced food court.
And we're going to cultivate it and make sure that it's going to be Rays Nation for a long time.
Make no mistake, if they don't win, it is a shame, especially right now. At Tropicana Field in St. Petersburg, Ray Collins, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
Thank you, Ray. The Rays are off to a 1-4 start, and they play a matinee next hour in New York against the Yankees. Back to the kitchen now. Check in with Culinary Director Judy Gallagher for more on her fajitas today. Is that right?
Well, it's like a fajita salad, kind of a combination of fajitas, and I have blue corn chip tacos because it's actually lower carb than doing like a flour tortilla. So I'm going to give you your steak, Scott, but I'm going to make it a little healthier. So what we're going to do is we're going to make a marinade. Now, normally for ribeye steaks, you don't need a marinade because they are just tender because they have that beautiful marbling. But what we're going to do is we're going to break it down to add a little more flavor and marinate them just for about 4 hours. Okay, this beautiful hand-cut ribeye. I have in here soy sauce, red wine vinegar, lime juice, and just a little bit of oil. Now, I've already coated it with the drum circle fajita salt, okay? So we're going to give that a little time just to marinate in a typical Ziploc bag, so that can go in the refrigerator to marinate. Remember, when you're taking it out, you want to take it out of the refrigerator a good half an hour before you're going to cook it. Take it out of the marinade, pat it with a paper towel, and then you can go ahead and sear it. So let's take this ribeye and start with this and sear it. Get your pan nice and hot. Obviously, be very safe with your grill this time of year. As we just heard, we're on a fire alert, so you gotta be careful with those coals and things like that. Nothing around it that might ignite. Now, what I like to do is I take these chiles de árbol And so they're dried chilies. And just to get that toasty flavor expressed from it, I'll put it right in the pan. Now in the marinade itself, I have a couple already toasted and that went in the bag. This is gonna take about 4 minutes per side for a nice medium rare. We wanna make sure the steak rests long enough so when we slice it, we don't lose all the juices. Now, traditional fajita might be onions, peppers, right? Today I have mushrooms because I shop my refrigerator, which I encourage all of you to do. Use the recipe and then switch something out that maybe you have zucchini left. Be fine to put in zucchini into this. So we're gonna keep the steak grilling away, and those peppers are really starting to give a little tickle, so you might hear us in a few minutes. We'll pull this part out. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go ahead and add just a pinch of oil, a little bit of olive oil, and I'm gonna start to cook the peppers and the mushrooms right in the same pan. So now we have the aroma from the toasted chili, right? And now we've got the peppers in, and we'll put some bright mushrooms in. And by all means, you can do onions. I'm avoiding them just for today. But you can also just do this as a great kind of taco fajita salad bar, and that works really well. So let's let this saute up a storm. We'll come back and I will show you how to finish it up with some great new ready-made products that I just love to use. It'll save you time.
My name is Stefan Campagna. We're Ben Gates and Dramus, and here is your law tip of the week. If you've been injured in a car accident, the state of Florida only gives you a specific amount of time to file a claim. So act now, give us a call.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt will leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long gone.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you too.
Fun for the whole family. The 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County, fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival grounds.
Thank you. You got a king?
Go fish.
It only takes a moment to make a moment. Take time to be a dad today.
You know, fortunately, this was my first job out of college, so I was able to come back home and work in my hometown. I wore two hats. I was sports director and I was a news anchor. I did that for a few years and then decided to go full-time into news. Well, I love our team here at ABC7. We have a great mix, and it really is a great mix of personalities, of experience that meshes really well into a really strong team. I'm Scott Dennis, and I'm here for you.
Want the latest weather and traffic conditions wherever you go? Introducing ABC7's revolutionary new First Alert weather app. With our state-of-the-art new weather app, you get up-to-the-minute weather alerts, interactive radar maps, current conditions, 10-day forecasts, real-time traffic maps, and weather video from ABC7, all at your fingertips. And it's free. Just search Suncoast WX in the App Store and download onto all your devices today. Sponsored by Mr. Sparky. Get all the local information you need before you leave home in the morning. Watch Good Morning Suncoast weekdays on ABC7 to get breaking news, plus First Alert weather and traffic focused on where you live. ABC7, we're here for you.
Coming up, Wall Street on another roller coaster ride after China announces tariffs on billions of dollars of U.S. goods. Plus, when Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg plans to testify before Congress about the company's consumer data privacy issues. Remembering Martin Luther King Jr., we'll take a look back at his extraordinary life now 50 years after his death.
You're watching ABC 7 News at 12:30.
Welcome back. Our top story at 12:30. It appears the U.S. and China are in a growing back-and-forth trade war as China announces its retaliation. ABC's Serena Marshall has the latest from Washington as President Trump targets the powerful nation.
The stock market reacting to a possible trade war. Opening sharply down over fears of the potential damage to the U.S. economy after the Chinese announced 106 new tariffs on everything from U.S. soybeans to cars, planes, and orange juice. The potential impacts if these tariffs go into effect would hit U.S. consumers and companies like Ford, General Motors, and Boeing, as the higher tariffs could mean job losses and higher prices.
China is serious about a reciprocal response to any action taken by the United States.
But in Washington, the Trump administration is brushing off any concern. Commerce Secretary Wilbur Ross telling CNBC this morning that these new tariffs amount to a small part of the U.S. economy.
This $50 billion that they're talking about amounts to about 0.3% of our GDP.
And the president also downplaying China's response, tweeting, "We are not in a trade war with China. That war was lost many years ago by the foolish or incompetent people who represented the U.S." Still, U.S. businesses are worried.
15% tariff will definitely impact the cherry, notably cherry sales in China this summer.
Washington State is the biggest producer of apples and sweet cherries in the U.S., with $50 million worth of that fruit exported to China every year. Experts caution that while both sides have announced these new tariffs, they may never go into effect. China has filed a dispute with the World Trade Organization, and now both sides are negotiating. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
New at noon, Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg is set to testify before Congress next week about the company's consumer data privacy issues. It was revealed last month that a data firm was able to access information on roughly 50 million Facebook users without their knowledge. Cambridge Analytica proposed purpose was to conduct voter targeting. The chairman of the House Energy and Commerce Committee said the April 11th hearing will be a good chance to explore consumer data privacy issues. Developing overnight, 4 people are dead after a military helicopter crashed during a training mission near El Centro, California. The Marine Corps chopper crashed Tuesday afternoon, killing all 4 crew members aboard. The cause of that crash is still under investigation. Indonesian authorities declare a state of emergency after a deadly oil spill off the coast of Borneo. Cleanup efforts are underway as the spill continues to spread, causing environmental and economic damage after first catching fire and emitting thick black smoke. The incident has already caused the deaths of 4 fishermen, and 1 other person remains missing today. Closer to home, an update now on the interim sand renourishment project at Lido Beach. Sarasota City Commissioners voting this week to hire a contractor to do design and testing work for a short-term fix to the beach erosion. City plans to take sand from New Pass, just north of Lido. Engineers say design work should be completed this spring, and then the sand will be added later this year.
Right, so we're working on doing an interim project similar to what we did after Tropical Storm Debby. It was a small project. We don't have a lot of sand to use, but whatever sand is available and New Pass Channel we'll be putting on the beach. We have a joint permit with Longboat. Longboat took sand the first time, and now the channel is filled in, and so it'll be the city's turn to take the sand from there.
City of Sarasota and the U.S. Army Corps of Engineers want to dredge 1 million cubic yards of sand from Big Pass between Lido and Siesta Keys, but opponents on Siesta have sued to block that project, and that case is still ongoing. Caught on camera, a surprise dust storm catches people off guard in Texas. Take a look at this. Visibility was cut to near zero when a cold front pushed this dust storm across West Texas. Drivers were slowed down and backed up for miles as that storm passed through. So far today, though, conditions are much better with that front on the move, and another dust storm is not expected anytime soon. There it is, right there. What a sight, huh? And then check out this video from outside of a North Carolina home. It may look like snow or maybe rain, but it's actually pollen. The pollen was so heavy, it set off the motion detectors on the home's security cameras. To some, the pollen might be bad here on the Suncoast, but at least we're not facing conditions quite like this. Wow, that's a lot.
Those are some big pollen flakes there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow. We have apparently some improving weather conditions in terms of pollen over the course of the afternoon here.
That's good.
Probably because the wind's coming in out of the southwest over the waters. Tomorrow, though, pollen's likely to go back up again.
Right.
So for those who suffer, tomorrow might be another bad pollen day for you. Looking at the First Alert Lakewood Ranch webcam, we're seeing some pretty decent weather out there. Nothing that really concerns us too much. Little building cloud cover. As we mentioned earlier in the day, we'd see a few fair weather clouds building on all this humidity this afternoon. But then later today, I think we'll see a more uniform, mostly cloudy sky develop as a frontal boundary continues to press southward. The support for this frontal boundary is rapidly decaying, and so the number of strong storms that we can see on radar are diminishing as well. I think by the time that whole system gets close to us, it's really going to fizzle out, so we don't get much of a chance of rain, much needed rainfall across our area. 77 in Sarasota, 80 right now in Bradenton, 78 degrees in Venice. As we head into the afternoon, we'll probably top it out at about 80 degrees. We hit 81 yesterday, and we're probably on track to do about that today. Winds are off the water today, though, so we might have a limiting factor there in terms of our daytime highs. Plus, there'll be some extra cloud cover around. This evening, I think we have a chance at seeing a spotty shower, isolated shower, but that's about it. And then overnight tonight, cloudy at first, but then clearing out as the front sinks south and brings in a beautiful day tomorrow, which we'll talk about in just a few. Scott.
All right, John, thanks. All day long, the nation is commemorating 50 years since the assassination of Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. ABC's Maggie Rulli has a special look back from Memphis.
The Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's legacy is just as powerful today as it was 50 years ago.
That we as a people will get to the promised land.
People driving to Memphis from Florida.
I'll take back to Miami just the same thing that Dr. King has always expressed, just love, peace, and equality.
To memorials in Atlanta and New York City.
We are the fire that no water can put out.
To 3 generations of people marching 50 miles from Mississippi to Memphis.
These guys hopefully will inspire other guys and gals to be a part of advancing Dr. King's vision.
Today, thousands of people across the country are honoring the life of Martin Luther King, 50 years after he was assassinated.
I'm 59 years old, and when Dr. King was killed, I was 9, so I remember watching it on the television.
Now the city of Memphis is reclaiming the place of King's death. Thousands are rallying for peace today next to the very same balcony where King was shot.
But the lessons learned from Dr. King are clear. That victory is ours when we persist, it's ours when we resist, and it's ours when we refuse to give up.
A time of remembrance and reflection.
When we look at the state of race relations, we've made dramatic progress in 50 years, but we're nowhere near where we need to be.
Later today at 6:01 local time, the thousands of people who have gathered here will all mark the exact time of King's death. And then moments later across the country, bells will toll 39 times, once for every year of King's life. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Memphis, Tennessee.
All right, time to get back to the kitchen and check in again with Judy Gallagher. Judy.
Oh man, it's smelling really good here, Scott. So I promise you I'm going to save you some steak. So we let the steak rest for about 20 minutes. And so it has that perfect medium rare. And like I said, 3 or 4 minutes per side. It depends on the thickness of the steak. So also on the cutting board, I have some of the Mexican cheese that'll go on top. Now we're talking about fajitas, but we're talking about lowering the carb amount. Blue corn taco shells really make a difference. So it gives you the crunch, you have the vibrancy of it, but you don't have as many carbs. Let me grab my tongs right here. We have the sauteed peppers and mushrooms and the little bit of the chili pepper there. So what I did is I started to make a salad bowl for myself since I want to keep it at a lower carb rate. And then right here in the tacos, and by the way, you can buy these taco holders. You see them in so many restaurants nowadays, right over at Fox Restaurant Equipment up in Northgate. So it's just, if you make Taco Tuesdays part of your family, it's really fun to have these holders. Now I promised you some really quick ideas First of all, over at Whole Foods, I found 2 convenience items. One is skillet refried beans. They come chilled. You could eat them right out of the container, but that way you don't have to soak them, cook them down, 2-day process. And again, I also found black beans, organic black beans. They're all cooked, they're ready to go. So that makes for a great source of nutrition. So I have both the refried beans and the black beans in the bowl. So then I have the sauteed peppers and onions, little lime. So now what we're going to do is we're just going to layer our flavors. So we're going to take this steak and we'll just line that up, making sure there's plenty on this for Scott, right? So we'll put that like that. Then what we're going to do is we're going to take a little sour cream, and then another convenience item are my toasty little treats. Now this is a little bit of a cheat, but just it makes it so fun. These are rice sesame sticks that have a little Anaheim pepper in them, so it has a bite with some peanuts. And then what we can do is we can take an avocado, and we're gonna make sure we cut the avocado right as we're ready to serve, because even though I cut this 5 minutes ago, you can see there's just a teeny bit of browning. We wanna avoid that. We're gonna layer some avocado on there, and then we're gonna do the Mexican cheese. Look at that. This is gonna be hearty and delicious and really flavorful with a squeeze of lime. I think we're ready for a hot, humid day out there and cool it down, and maybe a margarita on the side. I'll be back in a few minutes for a taste.
If you're only hungry for a slice of apple pie, why buy the whole pie? And you certainly wouldn't want to pay for an all-you-can-eat buffet. So if you don't use your cell phone that much, why get charged for a plan that's too big, or even an unlimited plan? Luckily, there's still a wireless company that shares your values. Welcome to Consumer Cellular. Our average customer pays about $25 a month for everything they need. Many pay even less, as plans start at just $15 a month. You'll get a straightforward bill that's easy to understand with no surprises, and all the attention you deserve from our friendly customer service team. No wonder Consumer Cellular has received the J.D. Power Award for highest customer service 3 times in a row. Plus, if you're an AARP member, you'll receive special discounts. It's easy to switch. You can even keep your phone and your number. So stop paying for more than you need and start your 30-day risk-free trial today. Call 800-457-2317. Go online or visit a Target store today.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
The Wild Broadway series brings you Funny Girl. Fanny Bryce dreams of being famous, and through sheer guts and determination becomes a star of the Ziegfeld Follies. Playing March 28th through April 15th, it's the songs and story that generations have grown to love. Call the Players Center at 365-2494 or visit us at theplayers.org. Don't rain on my parade. Come see Funny Girl.
Check out mysuncoast.com/dining, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with meteorologist John Scalzi.
77-degree air temperature, dew point almost at 70, 69 degrees, so it feels very sticky and humid outside. Plenty of sunshine around, and a southwest wind continuing to funnel in that tropical moisture. 81 degrees Mayaca City, 80 in Wauchula, 81 in Arcadia, 81 in Northport, 80 Lakewood Ranch, Parrish, Bradenton. These temperatures will probably make it to around 83, 84 degrees, while along the coastline, we'll probably just touch the 80 mark in many locations. Sarasota coming in at 77, 74, Longboat Key, 78 in Venison, 77 in Inglewood. We'll go with 80 degrees as a daytime high today by around 3 p.m. Cloud cover will be on the increase as we progress through the second half of the afternoon, and during the evening, early evening through about 9 o'clock or so, we'll have about a 20% chance of a shower or two as the clouds begin to thicken across the region. They're not going to see a lot of rainfall, believe me, with this one, but we'll have to put in about a 20% chance. And then by midnight or so, 70 degrees, rain shower chances will have ended, and we'll start the process of clearing things out as the front continues to press southward. You'll notice this southwest wind throughout the day today, a little extra cloud cover coming into the picture as well. And then those isolated showers possible as we head into the evening and nighttime hours. Then by morning, I think we'll probably start to see those winds shift around to the northeast, some drier air move in, and it looks like it's going to be a pretty nice day starting tomorrow. Trough low pressure begins to lift out. As it does that, what's left over at the surface, this weak cold front, begins to kind of fall apart as it sinks southward. So we'll put in that chance of rain, but we really could use a good soaking rain, and that's not in the cards with this one. However, we'll have a series of little cold fronts that will work their way through our area over the course of the next couple of days, and those will help to bring us rain chances right into the weekend. They won't be big rain chances. We're not looking at rainouts this weekend, but we'll have a chance each and every day on Saturday, Sunday, and Monday of seeing some scattered showers around. This frontal boundary sinks southward and kind of falls apart as it does so. High pressure then builds in, and we get that wind out of the northeast, drawing down some drier air. Mostly sunny to start, building clouds late in the day, and then several dry days followed by some somewhat unsettled weather. The rainfall futurecast really doesn't show a whole lot across the region. I mean, just a smattering of little areas of less than half-inch rainfalls. And as far as thunderstorm chances go, well, we don't have any, but that southwest wind will pin the east coast sea breeze close to their coast, so they may have an isolated thunderstorm there. We're looking at a wind that picks up a little bit tonight. Boaters watch for that, north at about 15. And the forecast for the rest of the work week comes in pretty nice, actually, with temperatures that really don't suffer because of a cold front. But it will be some drier air that works its way in. Then as we head into the weekend, I think these clouds will be kind of lingering at times. Like I said, not all day rainouts, but a 30 to 40% chance of seeing some showers around. And some of them could produce a good thunderstorm possibly Saturday and Sunday. And then as we head into next Tuesday, we start to clear out a bit. Scott?
All right, John, thank you. In consumer news, Spotify making its presence felt on Wall Street. Shares of the music streaming service surged before closing yesterday at $149 a share in its stock market debut. The company is currently valued at more than $26 billion. Spotify didn't follow the traditional IPO path. Instead, the company went public via a direct listing, cutting out investment bankers and saving it millions of dollars in fees. You may want to take a quick look inside your refrigerator. Stella Artois is recalling some of its beer. Officials with the Belgian beer say small pieces of glass may have fallen inside some bottles. The recall affects Stella 6-packs, 12-packs, 18-packs, and 24-packs that are sold in the U.S. and Canada. Overall, less than 1% of glass bottles in the U.S. may have been affected. The company says it's now working with its supplier to make sure the problem is addressed properly. Bed Bath & Beyond is allowing consumers to exchange Toys R Us or Babies R Us gift cards for a reduced Bed Bath & Beyond or Bye Bye Baby E-card gift card. Right now, a $20 Toys R Us gift card would get you a gift card around $13 in worth, and $100 would sell for around $65. Customers will get their Bed Bath & Beyond e-gift card emailed to them, and it can be used online or in the store. But you better act fast because you can only trade in your Toys R Us gift cards through the end of the day tomorrow. Still to come in your Suncoast News, why the creators of Netflix's popular show Stranger Things are now being sued for stealing someone else's idea.
Want to know a secret? If you're looking for the best selection of area rugs at an unbelievable price, the only place you need to look is Rugs' Art. I know what you're thinking. Expensive, right? Wrong. Rugs' Art has the largest selection of area rugs on the west coast of Florida in a variety of styles, with 8x11 area rugs starting at $199. Largest selection, personalized service, and unbelievably low prices. You'll find it all at Rugs' Art.
Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
Our nation's servicemen and women show great courage and leadership both on and off the battlefield. When they transition to civilian life, they can apply the skills and values they learned in the military to the workplace. That's why the Coalition to Salute America's Heroes is urging employers everywhere to be smart, bet on a vet. Hiring a veteran is also a great way to show your appreciation for them. To learn more, call 1-888-44-SALUTE.
One of the motivating factors for me to become a Big Brother was that I was mentored as a youth. And it was important for me to kind of pass forward the things that were kind of given to me. It's really just as simple as getting to know a kid. You don't have to be an athlete, you don't have to be rich, you don't have to have any of those other things. You just have to be willing to spend a little time and help mold some young person's life.
There was this big bruise on my friend's face. I didn't want to see it. I didn't want to think her own nephew could have hit her.
I didn't want to see it. My mother's bank account was emptied, and a caregiver had taken control of it.
I didn't want to see it. My father's refrigerator. There was hardly anything in it. That's unusual for him.
It's tough to see that a senior citizen is being abused, physically, emotionally, sexually, or financially. Elder abuse is a crime.
So see the signs. Stop the crimes.
Okay, so we drowned the fire, stirred it, drowned it again, and now just feel if it's cold.
Yeah.
Cool.
Smokey just gave me a bear hug.
I know. I already posted it.
Check out My Suncoast Dining on mysuncoast.com, your guide to the foodie lifestyle. ABC7's own Chef Judy serves up her favorite recipes, cooking tips and trends, dining blogs, step-by-step videos, and Suncoast Restaurant Guide. You'll find it all at mysuncoast.com/dining.
Well, yep. Oh, did you get the spicy pepper?
I sure did.
There's water right up here
Whoa.
if you need it. Okay, that's that pop of that chili pepper that I threw in the pan. It kind of expresses itself. So if you do need some water, I didn't mean to right under the pot.
Maybe I just have a touch
little
there.
sip. No margaritas today on set. So it's simply like a fajita, only without the tortilla. So you can either put it in a corn taco shell or make it as a bowl as I did with you with sauteed spinach, and I really burned you, buddy. This is a man on fire. I'm taking the whole thing over.
It's all good.
Good. Okay, sorry about that. With black beans and red beans and all sorts of goodness. You can get this recipe on mysuncoast.com. Click on recipes. You can also watch the video of John on fire. Back to you, Scott.
All right, thank you so much, Judy. Good thing there's water nearby. In entertainment news, the ratings are in, and Roseanne is a hit with audiences for ABC. What show, though, will be next to get a revival? ABC's Jason Nathanson has the latest rumors from Hollywood in today's Showbiz Wrap.
With the success of Roseanne, no doubt every TV show is being considered for a comeback. A revival of the NBC comedy The Office has been rumored, and star John Krasinski says he's in.
I would love to do it. I think the coolest thing that the Brits did is in the UK, they did the Christmas special, where everybody comes back together once a year. That was really fun.
Krasinski wrote, directed, and stars in the horror suspense film A Quiet Place, alongside wife Emily Blunt. It opens Friday. The first on-screen Wonder Woman now is a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Linda Carter got the honor Tuesday afternoon, paying tribute to the show that gave her her first break.
Wonder Woman gave birth to my career, and now we have come full circle.
Patty Jenkins, director of last year's Wonder Woman movie, praised Carter, her friend, as a role model.
She wasn't afraid to love being a woman and celebrate her femininity, all while kicking ass and changing the world.
Carter has a new album out now, and she'll also be seen in the upcoming movie Super Troopers 2 later this month.
I think you know what the problem is just as well as I do.
A major milestone for an iconic Hollywood film, 2001: A Space Odyssey, hit theaters in Los Angeles and New York 50 years ago today. The Stanley Kubrick science fiction film was both praised and pummeled by critics when it first came out. Now it's seen as one of the most influential films of all time, cited by everyone from Steven Spielberg to George Lucas. It snagged 4 Oscar nominations and 1 win for Best Visual Effects. And that's what's happening in Hollywood. I'm Jason Nathanson, ABC News, Los Angeles.
A plot twist for Stranger Things. The creators will now have to defend the originality of the series in court. Filmmaker Charlie Kessler is suing Matt and Ross Duffer, stating that the brothers crafted the show around his idea. Kessler says he discussed the plot of his short film Montauk with the Duffers during a film festival premiere party back in 2014. Montauk is about a violent event in a New England town surrounded by secret government projects and the paranormal. Kessler said he didn't know about similarities between his own work and Stranger Things until the series premiered on Netflix in 2016. Finally, astronomers using the Hubble Space Telescope have identified the most distant star ever observed. Icarus is 9 billion light years from Earth, which means the light from the images captured by Hubble was emitted 9 billion years ago and is just now reaching Earth. Icarus is so far away from our planet that it previously was not visible. Astronomers are only able to see it now because its light was magnified by the gravitational pull of a huge neighboring galaxy cluster. Pretty fascinating stuff. Another sight. Hang in there, my friend.
Sorry about that, Pepper.
That's all good.
Have a wonderful day ahead. We'll see you again at 5.
So Matt told me to meet him at 7 a.m. sharp right here. It is now 7:01 a.m. You think Matt would leave without me? Hey, is Matt here?
Long con.
Long gone.
Just missed him.
Just missed him.
All done.
Mr. Sparky guarantees they're on time and the repair is free, so chop chop.
Call 888-8-SPARKY.
Matt, you started without me.
I finished without you, too.
Fun for the whole family. The 26th Annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, benefiting special athletes of Sarasota County. Fossil vendors, arts and crafts, food, children's games, and live entertainment with headliners the Gator Creek Band on Friday night, Rockin' Rogues, Maiden Cane, Glass Onion, Kettle of Fish, Paisley Craze, and the Boogeymen. Admission $4, children 12 and under free. Parking is free. The annual Venice Shark's Tooth Festival, April 13th, 14th, and 15th at the Venice Airport Festival Grounds.